right, let's talk about the government shutdown and what we can and should be doing right now. First off, please understand that this is a government shutdown that is squarely on the shoulders of the Republican Party. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. They have total power in American government. So if they fail to fund the government, that is squarely on their shoulders. Now, Donald Trump and the Republicans are desperately trying to spin this as the Democrats' fault, but that just doesn't make any sense. For 2 full days before the shutdown, we saw Democrats show up on Capitol Hill, and the Republicans were not there. Democrats said, hey, let's negotiate. You have put forward a continuing resolution that will be incredibly harmful to our constituents, and therefore we are doing our duty as elected representatives to say we can't vote for this, but we want to work with you on compromise. We want to work with you, have bipartisanship, and we want to negotiate something different. And Republicans went and hid. Instead of showing up to the table and negotiating, they abandoned their own constituents and ran away, trying to force a shutdown so that they could manufacture blame and try and put it on the Democrats. But there is quite a bit of polling that shows that the American people have not bought that load of horse shit. Far more Americans are blaming Republicans and Donald Trump for the shutdown than Democrats, as they should. Even Republicans see this as the fault of Republicans in Congress and Donald Trump. Republicans tried to tell Democrats, you have to vote for a funding plan that will take away health care from tens of millions of Americans, from your own constituents, will close hospitals around the country, and will also give Donald Trump essentially a blank check and the power to subvert the power of the purse, the constitutional authority of Congress. I will never understand why Republicans have handed over so much of their constitutional power, so much of their duty and responsibility. They were just like, here, Daddy Donald, take it all. I don't know why Republicans have done that. Still just like blows my mind that they would so freely hand over all of their power. Because really the legislative branch should be the strongest branch. They should be the ones who are engaging in the checks and balances. They are the ones with the power of the purse. They are the ones with the power to approve or fail to approve the executive's nominees. They are the ones with the power of impeachment. And please understand, we are where we are now because Republicans in the House and the Senate have abdicated their responsibility to impeach Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio. We could just go on and on. All of the members of the executive who have, in so many ways, violated the Constitution and committed impeachable offenses. We're in this shithole now because Republicans in Congress are refusing to do their job. And Democrats are finally trying to actually do their job. They're saying, we're not going to betray our constituents. We cannot fund a government that is going to take away healthcare from tens of millions of Americans, that is going to increase the premiums of basically all Americans, and is going to close clinics and hospitals all around the country. We can't do that. We've got to do right by our constituents. And we are watching Republicans trying to get Democrats to cave, right? We know that behind the scenes, there's going to be this pressure campaign because Donald Trump and the Republicans, they want to seem all powerful. They do not like the fact that Democrats have found their spine, are listening to their constituents and standing up. So I'm sure behind the scenes, they need to peel off, I think it's something like 7 or 8 total Democrats and get them to vote with the Republicans. Democrats in the Senate, by the way. But so far, Democrats are holding strong with the exception of 3, and I'll get to that in a second. So far, Democrats understand the assignment and they're holding strong. And we have a job right now. It's not all on our elected officials in Congress. Our job is to have their backs, to stand behind them and to say, do not cave, hold the line. You have our support. Our job right now is to send our Democratic senators and members of Congress feedback, telling them that we are proud of them for doing the right thing, right? Back in March, a bunch of them, including Chuck Schumer, folded like a chair, did the absolute wrong thing, and their constituents were flaming pissed, right? Democratic voters, we just want to see fighters. We want to see that there is an opposition party against fascism. We want our elected officials to advocate for us and advocate for democracy. And most Democrats in March did the right thing, you guys. Most Democrats in March voted to make sure, sorry, it's late, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit, voted against the continuing resolution, right? Most Democrats did the right thing. Chuck Schumer and a handful of folks in the Senate, they fucking folded. But now we are September 30th and now the first week in October. Suddenly they have found their spine. And I think that's because they got so much feedback from all of us. We want you to exercise what power you have. You have the 60 vote threshold in the Senate. That is your one leverage point. Do not betray us. And Senator Elizabeth Warren and others led that charge, saying we cannot vote for this resolution that will take away healthcare from tens of millions of Americans. Our constituents are telling us don't do that, and we've got to listen to them. It is a moral, a just, and a strategic move for us to say we will not support the Republicans' plan. Make the Republicans own it. They are the ones wanting to fund terrible, terrible things and hurt tens of millions of Americans. Bernie Sanders talked about, there's been a couple of studies that have come out showing that if the Republicans get their way and Medicaid is gutted the way that Republicans are, have voted for in the big, nasty, bloated budget bill and they're trying to push through now, that 50,000 Americans could die every single year. They want to sign over for the deaths of 50,000 Americans a year. So that billionaires can get a big tax break, so that ICE can get tens of billions of dollars in order to terrorize our communities, to drag people out of their homes, to handcuff American citizens, to separate children from their parents, to take away our farm workers and our construction workers, our neighbors, valued members of our community. That's what they're taking away healthcare from tens of millions of Americans to do. Anyway, so the point here is that our job as constituents right now, right? Our relationship with our elected representatives is that they represent us and they need to know how we feel. I know sometimes it can feel like, especially if you have kind of a corporate Democrat who's your rep, it can feel like, well, they don't listen to me. They only care about their big donors. They only care about the PACs and the corporations that are funding them. No, they actually do care. We've got to flood their phones and their emails with feedback. It has to be, you did the right thing. I am finally happy with the job that you're doing. This is the right move. Hold strong. Do not cave to the Republicans. That's the message, right? When they do good, we need to give them a cookie and say, yay job. My eldest daughter was really little. She didn't say good job. She said, yay job. And then say, keep at it. Keep holding strong. Do not buckle. This cannot be performative. There has to be teeth behind your actions. So the initial vote on September 30th, John Fetterman, who is a complete and utter disappointment, Angus King, who's an independent from Maine who caucuses with the Democrats, and then Senator Cortez Masto from Nevada, they all voted with the Republicans. So give everybody their cookies except for those three. Let them know what you think about them. If you live in Pennsylvania or Maine or Nevada, you need to be contacting your senator and saying, what the fuck were you thinking? And I agree with Ezra from Indivisible. If you are at an Indivisible chapter in one of those three states, y'all need to be picketing in front of your senator's offices. You need to be demanding a meeting with your senator. You need to be having a public display, calling in the media and saying, what the fuck, right? It's the carrot and the stick. It's the cookie and it's the how dare you. Our Democratic electeds will hold strong if they continue to be flooded with positive feedback. I know so often we can just call when we're mad, right? And I guarantee you when Republicans are mad, they are all calling. All of those, MAGA hats who are retired and have nothing better to do, they're calling and they're screaming at your Democratic elected. We've got to flood them with positive feedback. We've got to flood them with hold strong, hold the line. We're so glad you found your spine. This is the right thing. We know it's hard. I'm sure that you're getting yelled at by I'm sure you're getting pressured by senators to flip. Don't flip. Hold strong. We need you. We need you to keep holding strong. Give us until October 18th, no King's Day. Keep holding out until then, and then you're going to see. Then you're going to see this massive swell of millions and millions of people. It'll be all over the news. You won't be able to look away. You will see how you are standing with us, and we are supporting you. This is the resistance movement. More than that, this is an opposition against fascism, right? It looks like, based on how the Democrats voted with this shutdown, that maybe we finally have an actual opposition party. But what we know about these guys is not only sometimes do you have to drag them kicking and screaming, but that you have to keep propping them up. You have to keep pushing them, or they're not going to hold the line, right? It requires that relationship. It requires us to assist them. They're not going to save us. It is us who is going to use our politicians to save ourselves. So call every day right now. Take 5 minutes at the beginning of your day. Call your senators, call your rep, and let them know. Thank you for supporting us. Hold strong. Don't buckle now.